In the ancient world, kingdoms rose and fell, but few stories remain as captivating as the tale of Antony and Cleopatra. Their love affair was as much a political game as it was a deep, unshakable passion. It was a union built on ambition, betrayal, and undying devotion. But what truly happened behind the veils of power? This is how it all began. The year was 41 BC. Rome was fractured, its triumvirate rulers vying for dominance. Octavian, young and calculating, held the West. Lepidus, the weakest of the three, held the provinces of Africa. And then there was Mark Antony, the warrior, the soldier, the man whose loyalty had once been unshakable to Julius Caesar. Antony, full of ambition, now ruled the East, a land rich with promise and danger. And it was in this East, in the great kingdom of Egypt, that he would meet Cleopatra, the woman whose name would forever be entwined with his own. Cleopatra, the last pharaoh of Egypt, was no mere beauty to be admired. She was a queen born of blood and intellect, raised in a land that had seen empires rise and fall. Her mind was as sharp as any Roman blade, her ambitions boundless. She had already ensnared Julius Caesar in her charms years before, bearing him a son. But now, with Caesar gone, she needed a new ally, someone who could help secure her throne and Egypt's independence from Rome's tightening grasp. Antony, too, was in need. His battles in the East drained his resources, and he needed Egypt's wealth, its armies, and perhaps most importantly, Cleopatra's support. But what was it that truly drew Antony to her? Was it the promise of power, or the allure of the exotic? Or something deeper, a force neither could control? The answer to that remains a mystery. When Antony first laid eyes on Cleopatra, he was not met with a woman desperate for alliance, but with a ruler, a queen whose presence commanded attention. Cleopatra understood the game better than most men in Rome. She greeted Antony not with subservience, but with majesty. She sailed to meet him on a golden barge, her sails purple, the deck covered in jewels. The scent of incense and flowers filled the air. She was no supplicant, she was a goddess. And Antony, a man used to conquest, found himself disarmed. Cleopatra was no ordinary queen. She spoke many languages, including Greek and Latin. She could debate philosophy, politics, and economics with the best minds of her time. And in Antony, she saw not just a lover, but a partner. Together, they could rule both East and West. Together, they could change the world. But such ambition does not come without a price. Their love affair, born of passion and politics, set Rome ablaze with rumors. Antony, a Roman general, was accused of falling under the spell of a foreign queen. The Senate whispered of betrayal, of a man who had abandoned his duty to Rome for the pleasures of Egypt. Octavian, Antony's rival, seized upon these rumors, painting Antony as a traitor, a man who had forsaken his Roman heritage for Cleopatra's throne. Yet for Antony and Cleopatra, these whispers were mere noise. They were too consumed by each other, too lost in their dreams of empire. Antony declared Alexandria his home and ruled from Cleopatra's side. They were inseparable, their bond growing stronger with each passing day. It was said that they would spend days in each other's company, holding grand feasts, surrounded by courtiers, soldiers, and scholars. But behind these displays of luxury, there was always a purpose. Every feast was a political move, every conversation laced with strategy. The real question remained, was their love genuine, or was it merely a facade, a means to an end? There is no easy answer to that, for love and power are often intertwined. Cleopatra, ever the strategist, knew that Antony's presence at her side secured her position in Egypt. Without him, she risked losing everything, but Antony, too, relied on her. With Cleopatra, he was not just a Roman general, he was a ruler, a king in his own right. She gave him a kingdom, an empire, and perhaps a sense of purpose beyond war. For years, Antony and Cleopatra ruled together, their love becoming the stuff of legend. But the shadow of Rome loomed ever closer. Octavian, now master of the West, could not allow such a union to go unchallenged. He moved against Antony, declaring him an enemy of Rome, accusing him of betraying the Republic for Cleopatra's sake. The final confrontation came in 31 BC at the Battle of Actium. Antony, fighting for his love and his empire, faced Octavian's forces at sea. Cleopatra was there too, with her fleet, ready to support Antony in this desperate gamble for survival, but fate, it seemed, had other plans. As the battle raged, Cleopatra's ships withdrew, retreating to safety. Some say it was a calculated move, a betrayal. Others argue it was a decision born of desperation, a queen trying to save what remained of her kingdom. Antony, seeing Cleopatra's retreat, believed himself abandoned. His forces fell into disarray, and Octavian emerged victorious. The defeat at Actium was the beginning of the end for Antony and Cleopatra. Antony, broken and humiliated, returned to Alexandria, believing his lover had betrayed him. But Cleopatra had not abandoned him, at least not entirely. She awaited him in her palace, prepared for the final act of their tragic tale. The lovers, once so full of ambition and hope, now faced the inevitable. When Octavian's forces marched on Alexandria, Antony, believing Cleopatra dead, fell upon his sword, ending his own life in despair. Cleopatra, upon hearing of his death, did what only a queen could do. She sought to die on her own terms. She arranged for an asp, a deadly snake, to be smuggled into her chambers. The bite of the asp would take her life swiftly, but with dignity. She would not be paraded through the streets of Rome as a trophy of Octavian's victory. And so, Cleopatra, the last pharaoh of Egypt, died as she had lived, defiant, regal, and shrouded in mystery. But was it truly the end? Or had they won in some strange way, and, in death, they were united in a way that no empire could tear apart? And though the sands of Egypt may have long since covered their tombs, the memory of their love endures, a reminder of the thin line between ambition and destruction, between power and passion,